I mean, I don't know. You're a grown man. I'm not figuring out your mess. Don't ask me.
Right.
It's not my job. I would have never been in this.
And for someone that owes a lot of money, I probably wouldn't be flying all over the country. I'd probably start figuring out how I'm going to pay people back.
Well, that's why you're sitting there behind a YouTube channel and not $5 million in debt. I'm actually out here working and trying to do something.
That's your problem.
Because you know what? I'm flying to the next job where I can get some money to pay people back.
Okay. Wow, what a night. What a live stream. First, before we start and get into this video, I want to thank JJ from JJ's Watch Hangout for inviting me to be on his panel last night when the Anthony Farah situation all unfolded. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory here. So everybody's probably going, what does this have to do with you? What does this involve with you? Well, about a year ago, I was streaming. I had a watch content-based program. And eventually I broke off and I wanted to go more into a podcast style, which is now more into a true crime podcast. But we do other things over here as well. And I always knew in the back of my mind that this Anthony Farah situation would come back around, and it has. Everybody's probably asking, what is the history with you and Anthony? So essentially a year ago, I had started cultivating a talking relationship with Anthony, and I wanted to have him on my show because he was a hot topic at that point in the watch industry, with all of his misdealings, his scams, the robberies. We wanted to hear everything. So I started chatting him up and kind of gained that trust through that conversation. We worked on him coming on the show a couple of times and he bailed out a lot. And essentially the last time around that he was supposed to come on the podcast, he said, hey, send me your questions. I'm going to vet them. And me stupidly, I gave him the questions. And the time that we were supposed to do it, I did indeed get COVID. I got sick and I just could not do the podcast. What this guy did was took my questions and went live on his channel a day later and thought that he would do a Q&A using my questions, which pissed me off. And I'll show you a clip of that here.
For those of you that are already on here, I want to take a second. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to scoot over a little bit because I got my phone plugged in as well. I want to take a second and I want to shout out an Instagram account that it's Let's Talk Live podcast. They have an Instagram account and a YouTube page, and we were actually scheduled to do an interview. And a lot of the questions I'm going to base this off of are questions that they came up with. So the first thing I want to do is give a lot of credit to them. He got COVID, and hang on one second. Brian. Okay, so Brian reached out to me a couple months ago and wanted to do an interview talking about a lot of the stuff that people have been asking, the blackouts, the Facebook group, the split, the home invasions, everything. He sent me a list of questions, and they're really, really good questions. And we were scheduled to do an interview, but unfortunately he got sick and we had to postpone. And then it hasn't happened yet. This week, we didn't have enough content to put together a really good video. So I decided doing a Q&A would be the best thing. And I'm going to use these questions.
So ultimately, that podcast never happened. And it now takes us to the present day. Obviously, we know the situation with Anthony now coming out and saying that he's $5 million in debt. And I said, this is a great time to bring this back up on my channel because obviously I cover true crime and this potentially could be a crime situation. I have always stayed in contact with JJ from JJ's Watch Hangout, and he's now been getting guests on his show that have been kind of wrapped up in this TPG octopus. He's had Wesley on there. He had Bob on there last night. JJ dropped the link to me and he said, hey, why don't you come on? These are the two guys that are involved in this. I know that you probably would want to be on the show just to listen and ask some questions. So I obliged. We got about 30 minutes into JJ's podcast, and Anthony ended up showing up in the chat and said, drop the link. And this is where it got really interesting. So I'm going to play about the half an hour segment. I've cut it down to where it's just the sections of Anthony, and you guys all can check out what happened. But before I play that, Anthony, if you're watching, I think you owe me that podcast on this channel. And if you want to tell your side of the story, my platform is open to you, and we'll give you time to come over and tell your side of the story. So guys, sit back, enjoy the show, and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you all think. Talk to you soon.
It'd be good to clear the air. So let's see.
I think it would be good for him if he, if he spoke truthful and things like that. I think it could be a good thing.
All right, let's get these guys here.
What have I missed so far, guys? I literally just sat back down on my computer.
Oh, well, I mean, it's Bob's just telling his story of his experience with TPG.
Right.
Oh, there he is. That actually is Anthony. All right, hang on one second. We got Lakota. It says, good evening, gentlemen. Thank you very much. $5 super chat. All right, look at this. It's true. We actually got, is that you? Can you just confirm your voice? Sorry, there's just so many trolls. We need to make sure we definitely got some.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yes, we can hear you. All right. Let's get you three up top because you guys are the actual people who do anything. All right, so where should we start this, gentlemen? I guess, Anthony, you have something. You came on, so I'm sure you have something to say, so let's start there, I guess, right?
Well, for 1 second, I have a flight boarding in 5 minutes, but I'll board last, so I've got about 15 minutes to talk. But no, you know what? I wanted to come on because I haven't denied anything. I haven't hidden from anything. And, Bob and Wesley, I'm gonna tell you straight up, just like I fucking said on my video. Like, I confided in you, Bob. You recorded my conversation when I was confiding in you. And
we hung out one time in person. Confide in your friends. You robbed.
Yeah, because you know what? I stayed in your apartment, or no, not your apartment, your house. I spent the night at your house. I spent the night at your house with you and your fiance, with your kids sleep, and we went and did my whole charade where I was trying to get my Richard Mill back. You know what? Yeah, I had a lot of trust in you because you did a lot more for me. Yeah, hang on. Are you gonna let me fucking talk, or are you gonna keep talking shit? Let me talk.
Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. I spent the night at your house. And we talked a lot. We sat on your patio that night. We sat on your patio that next morning for an hour and a half, and we talked. I told you a lot of shit. And guess what? You're fucking smart. You're successful. Who the fuck else am I going to confide in? Some person I sold one watch to a date just one time? No. I confide in people. I talk to people that have been successful, have been through the ringer, have been up and been down, like you told me you had been. Same with you, Wesley. I talked to you because you told me you've been up, you've been down. I told you from the very fucking start the shit I was dealing with, not the debt, but I told you about the hate. I told you before I walked in your house that day in you know what, I'm not gonna say where, at the beach. And you did not. No, hang on. Let me finish, Wesley.
I told you.
I will. I'll let you say everything you want. But I told you before I ever walked in your house, that first time when we were delivering all those watches to you, I told you the kind of hate that I get on social media. And I said, if you let me film you, there's a chance you're going to get some backlash. I didn't know you were going to be wearing your company shirt, or I would have told you to change it, but we were already I didn't think of it. But I told you the very first time I met you in person, when you walked out there and met me and my videographer, I said, there's a chance you're going to get some backlash. No, I told you before we even flew out there. And you said you were okay with it. You don't give a fuck about haters because you're more successful than all of them. And all this time, you've been telling, the only reason I'm on here tonight is because you keep telling people you didn't know who I was. You didn't know I had a business partner. You didn't know I did this blackout stunt. Yes, you did.
Hey, listen, I've defended you from the day one that you told me you had haters on Reddit. I looked my name up. I had haters on Reddit. I've told everybody there that I believed that you were telling the truth because of that. Everything I saw about me was a lie. I defended you through the end. I had so many people tell me that you were a piece of shit, and I didn't believe them. I defended you every day. I defended you. In the end, you said you
didn't do it. And you said you didn't do it. You told people the other day on your live interview that you didn't do enough due diligence to me, that you didn't know all this stuff about me. You didn't know I had a former partner. And that's bullshit. That's the only reason I'm on here, because everything y'all fucking keep saying, I told you every bit of it. Not the first time you met me, no. You spent over $1 million with me before you knew all of this. But when I met you in
and
person
it
at
was
your
great.
beach house, I told you everything. And every single time we talked since then, I told you everything about me. It was less than a month later that I told you about my situation. And I started talking to you about it. And
that's
Bob, for
when our
you, it
relationship-
was less than 2 weeks later. Because you know why, Bob? Because you were going to invest $1 million to $1.5 million in me. And I couldn't let myself do it. That's why I reached out to you and told you what was going on, because you kept talking to me. Remember the fucking call when I told you about this, Bob? Was the call that you were going to plan your flight to LA to come see my operation and see everything, where you were going to put $1 million to $1.5 million in me. And I said no.
You brought up invest, dude. I liked you and trusted you till I found out that you robbed me.
Exactly.
What's so hard to understand about that? I invited you into my home to help you find the watch that I thought was stolen from you, right? I brought you to that store. I walked in with you. Dude, I liked you. I trusted you. And I thought, this guy sells a lot of fucking watches and I like the guy. It wasn't
And you
until
don't think there's, okay, listen, and you don't think that when someone gets in a fucking bind and someone actually
$5
gets
million
like to a
is
point,
not a bind. It's not a debt. It's stolen watches.
where's the 5 million?
that's
Hey, Bob, you know what? Hey, since you recorded my conversation and you're running this, tell me where the 5 million's at. Because Wesley
like
has
me
my
to?
sheet. Yeah,
no.
please.
I got your sheet plus your text messages from everybody else you wrote that you told me, and I haven't put. That's nobody's business.
Oh, yeah?
But the number
Does it add up? Okay, does it add up to 5 million?
Yes, your numbers add up to nearly 4.7. Yes.
You told me $5
If you
million.
want to call it out, whoever your guy is in Texas, you owed him over $1 million before you went to LA.
And my guy in Texas isn't saying a fucking word. You know why? Because you don't know the whole fucking story. You guys are spinning this fucking thing. Listen, shut the fuck up. You guys are spinning this fucking story like you know what's talking about. You're saying it's a Ponzi scheme. I told you 5 million, Bob, because that is what the true. Listen, Bob. I told you 5 million because that's what I know about. That's what the true debt is to me, to be completely debt free. I never told you what that involves. Guess what? There's $2 million in debt with a best friend of mine that was helping me buy my way into the LA scene. My plan moving to LA was to buy my way into every circle there, because that's how you fucking make it in LA, is you get in all the top circles that you can't get in as a nobody. I was a nobody moving to LA, but guess what? When you drive a nice car, when you go to nice restaurants, when you are in Soho House, guess what? You get in those fucking circles. And that's what my boy was doing. He was funding that lifestyle, not your fucking watch. Okay? So get that fucking straight.
30 seconds.
Can I touch
30
on
seconds? And if you want to cuss, I'll get you a first class flight. Well, we'll be cool about that.
So let me just jump in here real quick with a question. Do you expect them, I mean, not to be upset? Like I hear like you're angry at them being angry, but I'm just curious, like don't you think it's kind of a natural reaction for them to kind of like, I mean, I would be pissed. I'd be cursing you all over the place too if I lost my money to watch things. So like, I guess what I'm asking is,
you only lost your money. You only lost your money. Hang on. You only lost your money when I disappear and I quit paying. I came out on every platform.
You lost your money. When someone
okay, but you haven't lost your money yet. Yeah, but you haven't lost your money yet until I disappear and quit paying.
Well, I mean,
I've been doing what I can to pay for. Okay, well, didn't disagree.
You sell the watch, they should get the money.
JJ, can I have 30 seconds?
Sure. Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say a couple things. So, Anthony, I'll say that for 90%, you're telling the truth about me and you. I defended you. They said, why would I invest in you? I said, you sold me over $1 million worth of watches, and you kept your word every day. I was being clear.
Every watch was perfect, right? And every watch was perfect. And delivery was on time, right?
Hey, let me talk. Everything was perfect. I sent you 4 or 5 watches because you asked for a big investment. I went safe. I sent you 4 or 5. You sold them. You paid my money back. I sent you more. You paid the money back. It was all good until 2 weeks before it ended. I knew nothing. I knew about all your drama, your hate. I knew nothing about the stolen shit or whatever you want to call it. That's when it all went south with me. And if you say anything different, I can prove it wrong. I've said that every deal we had was good until the end.
And Wesley, let me ask you this really quick. If you were never interested, when I told you everything, if you were never interested in really helping me, why did you ask for a list of everyone I owed money? You think I would have ever sent that list? Listen, hang on. No, for real. You think I would have ever sent that list? No, you weren't.
I was willing to help until you lied to Z on the very last day. And he can
lied to Z about what?
You sold some bullshit watch for $30,000 that was mine, and he was supposed to pay me that morning in person. at my office.
I talked to you the night before. Listen, no, Wesley. I talked, dude. I've got the fucking conversation. You know what? There's no proof because we don't have it. I talked to you the night before, and you told me if I can sell watches. It was a Thursday evening. You told me if I can sell watches of yours over the next week, I can allocate that money towards debt, paying debt that I have, and I can put it towards you because you said you were going to be the last one I paid. That's what I fucking did.
No, so
Okay,
that's not going
I sold them.
That's
Listen, dude, Wesley, you told me sell whatever you can. I want to see what you're capable of. Sell everything of mine you can, and you can allocate that money towards paying debt to other people and put it towards my debt. I sold $400,000 worth of watches of yours in 3 days, and I took one of those watches.
I've got the screenshot where we said you could take the profits and pay your debtors back. The profits. I'm in the whole million. I'm not going $1.5 million.
Wesley, I told you. I was like, I asked you, dude. I asked you personally. I was like, if I can sell several pieces, can I pay some people off with this money and just put that debt towards what I owe you? Then when we come full time with you,
I want to ask you one question. Do you think the reason people lost faith in you is because you started like the video series, like how you were gonna the road to redemption, right, to pay it back, and then like you kind of stopped doing it after the 5th day? Do you think that was a signal to like the internet? Like,
do you think I care about a bunch of fucking haters that have never spent any
care.
money with me?
You just said you did.
Okay, give me a second. Let me answer your question.
I'm asking if you. I didn't ask you if you care. I asked you if you think that's the reason people lost faith in you. That's what I asked.
Who lost faith in me? A bunch of people
just
that
like
have nothing
the
to do.
general audience you were speaking to online. Right?
You said you have haters, Anthony. You're like the haters always come after
the haters, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
the haters
you said
that
it
are after
yourself. You just said it 10 minutes ago when this conversation started. And you
let me ask
always,
you a question. Hey,
you
let me ask you guys a question.
Victim in everything, man.
Listen,
and that's what you do to people.
No, let me ask you guys a question. $5 million in debt. You have two people. You have two people here on your screen. I owe Wesley $1 million. I owe Bob $194,650.
Right.
I forget. Maybe I got the last part wrong, but it's 100. Let's just call it 195,000.
Okay.
Guess what? Bob and Wesley are here live.
Right.
Where's the other 4 million worth of people?
Well, they don't want to be in the public eye. They probably don't want to be in the public eye, right? I mean, I don't know. You
no, they want to get they want to get paid because they're not out here making a fucking fuss, trying to shame me and ruin every chance I have of making money. I started doing the day. Let's hang on. I started doing the daily thing because I truly had every fucking intention. I still have every intention of paying because every fucking thing I touch, every person I touch gets saturated by all these fucking haters. Fault. I went to Cooch.
That's your fault, Anthony, and that's the problem.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian, for pointing that out.
Anthony, you just texted my ops manager and said to meet him tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the restaurant you had lunch on the first day. Don't be late. Come along.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, I think I would make a fuss if you were $1 million, right? I mean, I would make a fuss. You don't think these guys deserve to make a fuss? And I mean, like, I have no dog in this fight.
You know what, Wesley? I text you that. I texted him that because I was
have any empathy for these guys that owe this.
You can't fuck with me, Anthony. If you want to fuck with me, I'll buy the flight. I mean,
the problem is, listen. The problem is, all you guys are talking about this shit, like what's he gonna do? Blah blah blah. What do you want me like Wesley and Bob? I want to know what you really want. You want me to end up in prison? Because guess what? I've already told this in my last video that you guys have enough money that if I disappear, you're not gonna fucking lose. You're not Bob. You're not gonna quit. You're not gonna move out of your house. Wesley, you're not gonna quit doing what you do. You're fucking fine. But guess what? There's other people out there that I'm trying to fix the mess that I'm in. And you know what, Wesley? The only reason I'm on here is because, dude, you fucking have been texting me for 2 months saying you were gonna sell all this stuff. I've opened up to I've told you everything, mostly everything. And I've been clear. I confided in you, and I gave you every key to everything I had in this industry. And don't fucking tell me you don't in your other video. Don't fucking tell me all these guys. Nobody put you in your fucking WhatsApp groups. I did. I was the only one that put you in WhatsApp groups.
You put me in 4. So you for $1 million.
I put you in 4, and then I put you in 4. I put you in 4. Yeah, I put you in 4 WhatsApp chats, and now you have $6.5 million, and you can buy anything you fucking want in any industry. And you've been vetted by every fucking major dealer because I vouch for you.
If you think your word goes that far, you're full of shit. And if you can justify that I can sleep good at night because you stole $1 million from me, so I should just let it go, then you're wasting your time talking to us. That's
Wesley,
bullshit.
I flew out to your fucking
You did.
home and
You
to
did.
your store, and
You
I
did.
told you I'm here. I booked a one-way ticket to come work for you and Jason and do whatever you fucking wanted. I walked through your store and I told you everything I fucking know. And I told you I can blow this up. We can keep it as private as possible. It's going to look like your operation. And I can run the back end. And you gave me every sense of hope that that's what you were going to do. And then the very next day, you told me you got a call from the FBI. Listen, the very next day you told me you got a call from the FBI. And so you had to cut ties. And that's bullshit because I have a friend at the FBI and my name is not even on their fucking radar. Even after y'all called him?
Hey, I guarantee you they're watching now, Anthony. And you flew in on a Thursday.
Good.
Friday morning, I got in my car and left because you were nothing but talk. It was all show. It was smoke. You were trying to con me in person like you did over the phone for 2 months. It's been
You
very
think I was trying to con you in person?
Yes.
When I was sitting in your office, I sold $150,000 worth of watches and I gave them your wire information. How was I trying to fucking con you?
bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. You sold
Really?
one watch with my wire information, one. And the FBI has those transactions, to be clear, the ones that are not looking at you.
So the Meteorite Daytona and the John Mayer Daytona that were $205,000 that I sent you a wire for immediately. Exactly.
Yeah, you paid me that. You said you gave them, and you didn't do that at my office. You did that the week prior on Monday.
But the day that I was at your office, I put Jason and you on the phone for someone wanting to buy a John Mayer, a Paul Newman Daytona, and then another client that you were going to actually deliver it and I gave you all their information. I said, hey, here's the debt. Just apply the credit to what I owe you.
I got a question I want to jump in here because this is kind of going all over the place. What happened once Bob gave you the watches to sell, like between then and him getting paid? Like what changed that? I'm not going
to talk about transactions. I'm not going to talk about money. I'm talking about
that's why he's upset with you, right? Because you didn't give him the money.
So
listen, I'm here to talk about
because you said he's mad that he didn't get paid yet, but like, isn't there some type of time expectancy? Like, hey, I give you a watch, you sell the watch, you pay me. Like not in 10 years, but like, within a certain time frame.
Listen, here's what I'm going to say. And I told you, listen, here's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to talk about financials. I'm not going to talk about financials. I'm not going to talk about paying people. That's private. What I'm going to talk about is why when I came out on public. Well, don't worry about getting to the bottom of this. You're not the fucking police. You're a YouTube channel. The point of me being on here is,
but I'm giving people a platform so they don't we're all watch collectors here.
Okay.
We're giving people a platform so they know what's going on, so they don't make mistakes.
But 99.9% of this platform don't have anything to do with my business. They never have had anything to do with my business, and they're involved in this. The two biggest people are right here on the channel. Guess what? Right. I can guarantee you there's nobody else. Okay. And there's nobody else on this channel that I actually owe money because I talk to those people on a daily basis, and they're sitting back hoping to get paid. But I have a whole community of people out there,
but at what cost?
You guys, trying to keep.
At what cost? So the next guy gets screwed over? I don't understand. Obviously that's what he thinks. But that's what he thinks is going to happen.
I don't think, Anthony. You're always
a little humility will go a long way for you instead of blaming everybody else. Right. Say, hey, I missed.
What do you fucking? Okay, let me ask you this.
I don't know. You're a grown man. I'm not figuring out your mess. Don't ask me. Right. It's not my job. I would have never been in this.
And for someone that owes a lot of money, I probably wouldn't be flying all over the country. I'd probably start figuring out how I'm going to pay people back.
Well, that's why you're sitting there behind a YouTube channel and not $5 million in debt. I'm actually out here working and trying to do something.
That's your problem.
Because you know what? I'm flying to the next job where I can get some money to pay people back.
Okay.
So where are we at on that list, Anthony? Just tell you that. I won't ever mention your name again. When am I going to get paid back?
As soon as I start having some money come in, you'll be on the list.
You're flying to your job.
So the next scam. Right?
But you know what? I got to make some money first.
But you think that's normal? Let's say you sent me a $300,000 watch, and I said, "Yeah, and I'll pay you. When? I'm not going to disclose that. I'll pay you."
You know what you guys' problem is? We keep focusing on the large amount and not the simple fact that I'm trying to do what I can. Okay. Guess what? How many people in this industry have we seen get in my same position? Seriously, look it up for the last 20 years. How many people have gotten in my same position and fucking ghosted? You don't think I could delete every fucking YouTube, every social media channel I have and delete my numbers, delete my email, and hop on a fucking jet and get out of here. Have a passport. I could leave the
No,
fucking
I don't,
country
because
right
then
now
you're
if I
going to
wanted
get
to,
in trouble
but I'm
for that.
not.
Because you're trying to
I'm
take
on a
money
fucking
from
live
other
stream.
people.
I'm on
Right.
a live stream where you guys
I
can clearly
give you
figure out
credit
this
for
is
coming out
DFW.
here, but I think a better approach would be, I want to figure out how to pay you. I don't have a timeline. Here's what
I've
I'm planning
said
to
that.
do. I'll pay you back at this point. I think, but like my thing is like when you do I'm just giving you a little perspective. You can take it for what it is. I know I'm just a YouTuber in a basement somewhere, whatever. My thing is like, do you say to yourself like maybe I should stop saying, oh, everyone's just a hater and this that, and say like these guys are right. I fucked up and now I need to figure out how to fix it. And Bob's right to be pissed at me. Wesley's right to be pissed at me. Like that's how I would imagine someone would feel if they got themselves in a jam. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to condemn you or crucify you in any way.
You don't think I didn't talk to Wesley, and you don't think I didn't talk to Bob, and you don't think I didn't talk to every single one of listen. You don't think I didn't talk to Bob, and you don't think I didn't talk to Wesley, and you don't think I didn't talk to every single one of the clients I owe money.
I think you talked to them. I think that's what you're good at talking.
I fucking opened up.
Resolved.
I opened up to these two people,
right?
Because they were the most successful and they were the most level-headed when I opened up and talked to them about it, that I thought I could share with them where I was at and they could give me some advice on how to get out of this. You think I fucking opened up to them because I was really that depressed that I had to like just spill my guts to them? No, I had a fucking million people I could have done that. No, I did it because I thought they were the two best. I thought they were the two best options to help me fix it without anyone getting fucked over. Guess what? I had three. Listen, Wesley.
We have people calling. They're losing their homes. Their pregnant wife. You stole their fucking fortunes.
Really?
It's not a lie. They're proving it. Yes.
People are losing their homes because they have their $20,000 watch. Really?
Yes.
You fucking believe that, Wesley? You're fucking
I do.
an idiot.
I do. I verify.
Really?
You know what? $20,000 isn't a rounding error for some people.
$20,000 is a big deal where I'm from, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying 20. Listen, I'm not saying
making $30,000 a year.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not saying $20,000. I'm not saying $2,000 is a lot of money. Guess what? Right now, $2,000 is a lot of fucking money to me, and I'm realizing that. Right. Nobody's losing their fucking homes. Y'all need to quit exaggerating these fucking stories. Guess what? That guy with his pregnant wife, I talk to him every other. Yeah, get him on it right now because I talked to him this morning.
You haven't talked to him.
No, I talked to him this morning.
This is, I think, the issue. You don't seem to have sympathy for these people that you owe money to.
No, he don't.
Like,
he's a fucking victim.
It's really crazy. Like, if I would feel terrible.
No, you don't think I don't have sympathy because I don't post those conversations on.
Bring them on. Fuck them. Like, that's not.
Why is everything
with
with social media? Everything is social media with you, dude. Like everything.
Well, you're sitting here telling. Listen, you're sitting here. Listen, you're sitting here telling me I don't have. You're sitting here telling me that these people are losing their homes. Show it online because I talk to these people every fucking day because Wesley comes on here and fucking outs me on everything I tell him and he just says some fucking guy's got a pregnant wife and she's losing their home. Are you fucking kidding me? Those guys brought that. I talk to that guy every day. That guy brought me 2 of a dozen watches.
Even if it was $1, I mean, it's still someone's money.
Forget about the money, but do you think it's not a possibility that it's affecting people's lives in some way? Right. Like. That's why I'm saying, like a little.
Yes, listen,
affecting, you know
affecting people's lives and them losing their fucking home is a whole different story. So quit fucking exaggerating. That's your problem. Is Wesley is telling
he's trying to help you.
Bro. What are you talking about? Like, you're so out of touch.
Wesley said,
like, he's trying to help you, Anthony. Has got my family death threats. It has got the most false claims against my business. It's got the people in the world who trusted me the most to question all of my integrity because I associate with a son of a bitch like you. And now you're going to hop on here in front of all these people and talk down to me? Man, fuck you. Simple as that. Wherever you're flying, fly to me. You won't have that same tone to my face.
Oh, I will too. Yes, I will, Leslie.
You will.
No, one-on-one, you wouldn't fucking talk to me like this. I guarantee you wouldn't.
JJ, that'll be next Friday night.
Well,
get the ring.
Then come to LA. Come to LA tomorrow. I'll be back in LA. 101 California is where I live.
I think, I just think it seems like you guys are going to come to a head. Sooner or later, one way or the other, this has got to come to a head. But it just seems like there's just way too much animosity for this to be fixed. To be honest, from what I'm seeing, like,
the problem is,
to be honest with you, I don't see how you could do it unless you got out of this industry and got successful in another industry to pay it back. I don't see it.
What do you think I'm doing? What do you think I'm doing?
What are you doing?
Listen,
the problem is right now. You got a platform here.
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Because I'm not going to. I'm not going to because I was going to try to say.
No, what are we, psychic? People have
I'm not gonna
questions.
tell
You
anyone-
can't get
I'm
mad
not
that
gonna-
people have questions.
Because
That's
you know
all I'm
what?
trying
The
to say.
the people that are on here trying to get views and they're not my customers. I talk to my fucking customers every day.
Believe
You
me,
guys
I
talking
could
about
be one of your
you guys
customers.
talking
I got
about people
plenty
that
of
are out on their
watches.
fucking ass. Okay,
Anthony, you posted this
listen.
watch for sale today. This watch right here. It's on your
Did
Instagram
I-
for sale today.
Did I post a sell price? I did.
This watch.
Really? I posted a
Yes.
sell price. Really? What was
No,
it?
no. You posted it as if you represent like you had it in your hands.
No, I
Man,
posted
you're
it as
ignorant as
no.
fuck, man. You're ignorant.
I posted it like a fan, the way I did when I first built my account. Really? Where did I say it was for sale, Wesley? Come on.
Oh yeah, the
Where did I
watch
say it was for
salesman
fucking
posting
sale?
watches on his Instagram insinuates it's for sale.
No, it doesn't. When I first built all of my dude, don't you fucking come at me like you fucking know this industry. I fucking taught you this industry. I
know
built
you,
my
though.
names first.
I don't know.
No, you
this
don't know
industry
me.
at
No, you
all.
don't
I'm
know
an
me.
idiot, and that's the reason I didn't know you, and that's why I got.
Hey,
fucked.
I gotta go.
But I know
My
who
flight's
you
leaving.
are.
All right. I think we're good here anyway. See you later. All right.
See you later, pal.
Is he still here? All right. He's here. He's gone. I kind of closed it out because I know he's got to go anyway. But
All right.
no. It's when the whole fighting thing. I can't have people. You know what? I understand frustration, but I can't have rumble in the jungle things and stuff like that.
Did anything happen before I hopped on?
No,
tonight?
nothing. Not much happened. There was no drama tonight.
Nothing.
None at all.
Nothing too exciting.
No
Okay.
drama.
All right, cool.
Drama-free.
Cool.
Drama-free stream.
Yeah.
We got Anthony back on the
Hey,
plane.
Anthony. Wesley, I'm very curious to hear. I like asking this question. What watch are you most proud of in your collection?
Honestly, this one. So this is just a two-tone Submariner,
Mm-hmm.
and so people don't know where I came from. I mean, we grew up really, really poor. We didn't know we were poor because I had the best parents in the world, but like we were happy as anything. So I remember like working for $13 an hour, and right out of high school, I didn't actually finish high school, but me and my wife worked every day, and she kind of rode around in my truck with me as we were doing jobs, and eventually we started making good money, and I just felt like she bought me this as a present, and it's just I wore it every day since. This is what kind of got me into the watches, and it was kind of like the we made it kind of thing.
The best
lot of
watch is the ones
sentimental
with a
value.
story. That's awesome. Thank you.
And then, yeah, I know Anthony's back on if you want to try to speak with him. If he was just listening, it don't matter.
I don't know if he's muted. It's hard to tell because he's on the plane. There we go. Oh, there you go.
I just unmuted, but I don't want to talk.
Yeah. It's hard to
I'm
hear.
honestly here to listen now.
Okay. He's here to listen.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can. It's a
Yes.
little.
It's a little dark too. You got
Yeah, it's a little.
Hang on.
hearing some
that's like-
airplane noise, cabin noise.
I'm gonna put my other work on.
Must be the first class cabin noise.
I want to be on a plane right now.
Just so people know, yes, it's first class, but I'm concierge key when I was flying all the time. So I book coach tickets and I get off here in the first seat. So, because I already saw somebody in the comments saying it's first class, like I'm just so living that life.
Right.
So, I don't know. You want to get? I'm like, oh, we could. Do we want to continue? I guess I don't know if we want to continue with the watch. I guess do we have anything else we want to get to as far as?
I'd like to continue with the watches. If Anthony wants to listen, let him listen.
All right. I mean, Cap, weigh in here, Cap. What do you got to say? Give us some words.
Well, I
of
mean,
wisdom.
if we could hear Anthony, I mean, right now he's on mute and there's some cabin noise.
You want us to boot him, Cap? Is that what you're saying?
No,
I'm muted so you guys. I'm muted so you guys can continue doing watches. I'll talk whenever y'all are done.
All right.
Or whenever someone asks me something.
Thank you.
I'll give you
All
your
right.
time. It's your show.
All right. Thank
Let's
you.
go.
Appreciate that. So let's get back to Wesley's watch collection.
Yeah.
Wesley, Wesley, what is going on in your mind right now? You're like, I don't know if I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, like just going through.
No, it's a weird feeling for me because again, when I started really falling in love with watches and learning the history, it's been no secret Anthony was like an idol. I thought he was like the biggest name in the world, and you know, in my mind he was. So I went to him for everything I needed. And now where we're at now, and kind of, I mean, I feel like I was just attacked over just saying things are the truth. I don't know how I feel, but I definitely don't want to like get into a back and forth, and I'm perfectly fine.
Right.
We're just trying to move on from it.
How about for the sake of this? How about for the sake of this video, let's pretend like none of this bad stuff's happened, and let's just talk like we were before. For the sake of this video, for the sake of talking about watches.
All right, I'm going to make an executive decision. We're going to do a 4-minute talk, and then we're going to get back to Weston this time. And, you know, I want to respect this time. And this is, you know, people in the chat are getting uncomfortable. It's just odd. So if anything you guys want to say, let's get it out now. We'll give it a few minutes, and then, you know, respectfully, Anthony, we're going to wrap up. If you're welcome back another time if you want to, you know, come on and make any statement or whatever. I don't know if you do.
Well,
totally.
I mean, I'd rather talk about watches with Wesley, because before all this broke out, we actually did have a really healthy relationship, and we talked a lot about watches, and he brought out a passion in me that a lot of people that don't. He really was interested in what watches to buy, which ones not to buy, which means let's talk about that. Why we gotta talk about negative stuff for like a minute?
I hear you. I'm going to make an executive decision, and there's no disrespect, but I think if you want to come on when you landed. We could hear you, talk to you. You know, until then, you know, I'm sorry, but I got to let you go. All right, so that's that. If he wants to come back, he's welcome.
Yeah,
to come back.
too distracting.
Wesley's gone out of his way a few times for me. I'm not making this awkward to get a rating. You know, he's got to go. That's it.
I actually have a
whoever's mad who wants to see the action. I'm sorry, but Wesley's been nothing but a gentleman to me, and I'm not going to go out of my way to get ratings or disrespect him in any way. It is obviously an uncomfortable situation. I wanted to chit chat with Wesley about his cool watch collection. I don't want to make this a different thing. So that's it. There's no more links. Done and done.